Michelle, family and friends, it's the Almost Wed Game!
Ladies and gentlemen, your host for this evening, Michael T.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Almost Wed Game, the game where we ask engaged couples questions to see how much they really know about one another. In this afternoon's format, we will be asking the groom-to-be questions about his soon-to-be bride, who will be answering from a live studio audience. And now, let's bring on our contestant, Michael Bateman!
How you doing?
Good, Michael, how are you?
Good.
Is it Michael or Mike?
Mike.
Is it Mikey B?
B.
B?
Yes.
We'll go with Mike for today.
Hi, Mom. How are you?
So for today's format, we will be asking you a series of 8 questions. Michelle will be answering them from a live studio audience. Michelle, can you hear us? Michelle? Alright, they're telling me we have a small issue with our video feed, so we can't hear you or see you, but we're going to continue on anyway. So Mike, are you ready for the first question?
Absolutely.
How silly of me. Before we get started, when is the wedding?
May 18th, 2013 at the Marion in Cinnaminster, New Jersey.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, are you nervous at all?
Nah, I'm a rock.
Great. Sounds like you got a winner there, Michelle. Alright, on to the first question. Now this question comes from Jen L. from Washington Township, New Jersey. Mike, where did your official first date take place? Alright, Michelle, now that we have your answer, let's see how you did.
Our first official date was a double date at the Tuscan Tavern.
Alright, well, again, since we can't really see you or hear you, Michelle, I hope you got that one right. You ready to move on to the next question?
Yes.
Alright, let's do it, folks. Our next question comes from... I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Our cards seem to be out of order. From Lauren L. from across the street. Mike, what is Michelle's biggest pet peeve? Alright, Michelle, now that we have your answer, let's see if Mikey B knows what your biggest pet peeve is.
I'm going to have to say it's procrastinating.
Oh, well, I hope that's not you procrastinating, because that could be a problem, folks. Alright, let's go on to our third question. Now, this question comes all the way from Misericordia University in Dallas, Pennsylvania, and it's from Christina L. Mike, when you first met Michelle, what is the first thing that you noticed about her, and what do you think is the first thing that she noticed about you? Alright, Michelle's answers are in. Let's see how you did. So, Mike, again, the question was, when you first met, what was the first things that you noticed about each other? So what was the first thing that you noticed about Michelle, and then what was the first thing that you think she noticed about you?
Well, Mike, I'm going to try to keep this PG and politically correct. I'm going to have to say her butt, and definitely the first thing that she noticed about me is that I'm tall, got a nice complexion, dark and tan, and I'm handsome.
Well, I hope our sponsors don't have a problem with that answer. This is a afternoon show, folks. But interesting answers, and I like your honesty there. So, and I see you're pretty humble as well. So
yes.
That's a good trait for a man for you to marry, Michelle. Let's go to our next question. All right, the next question comes from Courtney, and this is via email. Mike, where is Michelle's happy place? Alright, well now that the studio audience knows what Michelle's happy place is, let's see how you fared. What did you say?
Well, I'm going to say, since we both love the warm weather, it's definitely got to be the beach.
Alright, you know, I'm a big fan of the beach myself. What beach do you guys usually go to?
Ocean City and Wildwood.
I agree with Wildwood. My favorite place. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a break, and we're going to go to a message from our sponsors. This segment of the Almost Wed Game brought to you by
Old Bay Seasoning. Seasoning for seafood, poultry, salads, and meat. Old Bay, all day.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And thank you for joining us again today on the Almost Wed Game, the game where we ask engaged couples questions to see how much they know about one another. We're here with Mike Bateman, who's happily engaged and getting ready to marry Michelle Lauletta in just a few months. We've already gone through a series of 4 questions. Let's continue on with the 5th. Mike, the 5th question is, who is your celebrity crush? Alright, so Michelle has answered. That's a tough one for Michelle to answer too, but oh, and I'm sorry, that question was from Erin B. from the Jersey Shore. So Erin, thank you for that question. Mike, we asked Michelle who she thinks your celebrity crush is. Who is it?
Well, I'm going to say, since I'm a big wrestling fan, it's definitely Trish Stratus all day.
I'm a wrestling fan as well, and I know of her. Alright, for our next question, we're going to go a little off script here and actually ask somebody outside of our studio for a question. What do you think about that?
Sounds good with me.
Alright, cameraman, let's go. Excuse me, sir. Sir, my name is Michael Tiliuzzi, and I'm with the Almost Wed Game. Are you familiar with the show?
I am.
Alright, great. Would you mind asking a question for one of our contestants?
No.
Alright, we have Mike, and Mike is back in the studio, and I believe he can hear us. Let me ask you, what's your name? Where are you from?
Phil from Turnersville.
Great. Now, Phil, are you married? Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Have you been in a few relationships?
Yeah.
Alright, so you can probably think of a good question that you can ask our contestant that he would be able to ask his fiance to see if she knows the answer.
Yeah.
Alright. I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, Phil, right?
That's it.
Alright, Phil. Can you think of a question that you'd like to ask Mike back in our studio?
Sure. How about, what's his favorite hobby?
Alright. Michelle, what is Mike's favorite hobby? Alright, Mike, we got our question from a complete stranger outside the studio audience. I believe you heard it, but it was, what is your favorite hobby? We've already got Michelle's answer. What is it?
It's definitely working out.
I think I should have been able to tell that one. Alright, let's go back to the studio for our next question. And once again, we thank that kind gentleman out on the street, I believe his name was Phil, for that question. On to question number 7. Mike, if you were to order drinks, what would you each order? And this question is from Jess G. from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Alright, now that the studio audience knows what Michelle thinks your favorite drinks are, let's see if Mike knows. Mike, what did you say your favorite drinks that you would order if you were each to go out together would be?
Well, Michelle's a big wine drinker, so I'm definitely going to say hers is Riesling and mine, Jack Daniels and Coke.
Alright, very good answers, very good answers. Let's move on to our final question of the afternoon. Alright, Mike, this is the final question of the afternoon. And it comes to us from our online forum from username XOLAR84 Lauren D. And I like this question because they say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, which I know is certainly true for me. So let's get to the question, which is, what are each of your favorite junk food? All right, Michelle, we've got your answer. let's see how Mike did answering that on the last one.
Well, I'm going to have to say, for me, I'm going to go with chocolate chip cookies, but honestly, anything chocolate. And for her, it's definitely pizza. She loves pizza. She has to have it once a week.
All right, very good answers, Mike. I think you did a very good job. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties that we didn't really have the communication back and forth with Michelle, but we'll find out how she did. And I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Mike, do you have any final thoughts?
I just want to say, hey babe, I love you, and I can't wait to marry you.
Aww. Very nice. I'm sure everyone in the audience really felt that. I know I did. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching the show. We'll see you next week right here on
The Almost Wed Game.